Everyone thinks Ryan Serhant is the biggest real estate agent in the world because he's an incredible salesperson. I don't think that's true. I think he understood something way before everyone else, and that's the power of media. Once you understand what he understood, you never look at social media the same way again. So everyone thinks that Ryan Serhant is a great salesperson, and I do believe that's true, but I don't think that's the main reason to why he has gotten the success he has so far. Because I believe most of his success is due to him leveraging the power of media. And you have normal media, you have social media, and we will talk about leverage very, very soon in this video. But he's just smart, he's looking at different types of leverage and levers, and he is using that and doubling down on what works the best. So if you really think about it, Ryan Serhant has built a media company around himself. And the reason why most real estate agents isn't having, even near close to the same success as Ryan Serhant has is because most real estate agents see social media as a hobby. There are many different people. Some of them go all in on social media, but most people see it as a hobby. It's something we do when we feel like it. And that's the difference from having a hobby and having a professional job and seeing, social media as a business tool is that you just don't do it when you feel like it. You do it every single day anyways. So Ryan really saw social media as a business tool long before everyone else. And it's so funny because I just looked up before this video, of course I've followed him for a long period of time, and I just looked at when was the first time he published a vlog on YouTube. And it's 8 years ago. I know that he has also kind of like he put out another video 12 years ago. I think that was just a listing, but he did his first vlog 8 years ago. That's way before a lot of agents even knew what social media was and the power of it. So that's why I do believe he have had the massive success he has. He saw something that very few others did, and he has freaking doubled down on it. So now we're going to talk about leverage, and some of you might know who Naval Ravikant is. He's an absolute legend, extremely successul person. I'm not going to talk about him now, but the main reason why I put his name on here is because I took a very simple way of explaining what leverage is. He has it in a book that is about him, and here we can see the different types of leverage. So the main reason why I wanted to have this leverage one is to explain it a little bit about how leverage works and why Ryan Serhant has gotten the success he has by doubling down on the right type of leverage that gives you the most for the least results. Meaning first of all, we have capital. As you can see here, it's on the bottom one, and that is really when you are using money to getting things. Such as you might pay for flyers to be sent out. You're spending money to get it shown to a specific type of people. And then you have labor, which I think most people know is that when you're working for someone else. So you work at a company, you get a paycheck each month, and in return you're doing a task. And then we have code, which is building some kind of software and things like that. And then you can see at the very top you have a media. And that's the highest form of leverage, at least to this type of picture. So this is what I do believe that Ryan Serhant saw way before everyone else in the real estate agent industry, and he just freaking doubled down on it. And as you can see here, that's why I do believe he has gotten the massive success he has. And now we might think, okay, well, why does media win? Well, as you saw, it's the highest form of leverage. So just by being smart and using it in the right way, you're getting as much result as possible for the least effort. And the thing is really because, media, it compounds 24/7. Because if you make one form piece of content, it doesn't matter if you're doing an interview on, a TV show, or if you're making a piece of content on Instagram or YouTube, you can make it once and then you post it, and then it can be seen by thousands of people, 24/7. When you're in your sleep, 10 people can watch your YouTube video. So it really works for you. And the more things you put out, and the more kind of like a personal brand you build, the more trust compounds as well. So I like to see it as this, snowball effect. So once in the beginning, it's very, very tiny, very few people might know who you are. But for each week and month and year that goes, this, your brand and the media you put out here in the world, it just compounds. So that's one of the biggest reasons to why that's the case. And I also love it because, as you can say, it's scalable. It's one to many. It's not just you picking up a phone, trying to make cold calls to reach people, because that's one to one. And what you're doing now is one to many. So it's scalable. So that's why it's so freaking smart to use media in the right way for yourself as a real estate agent. And this is what Ryan Serhant saw, probably 5, 8, 10 years ago, and doubled down on it. Many people of you that have been in the game for a long period of time, that the first thing he did was on $1 million listing in New York, which also was him being very smart. It was a risk at the time, but he saw an opportunity, and I guess when he looked back in the mirror, he saw that that was an insane opportunity for him to leveraging media in building his own personal brand. So I really want to talk about the old way, because I do believe that real estate agents in general, and just speaking of it as a business, it's so easy to get stuck in old habits and working in old ways, because I do believe that there's so many things happening in the world with AI and social media and things like that, but I do believe that this industry is a little bit slow on jumping on new trends. So that's why I just believe that this is such a big opportunity for you watching right now as a real estate agent to double down on media and using it as a leverage to get what you want out of life. And that's really it. But the old way is making cold calls, door knocking, having open houses. Of course you should having that, but I think too many people are really just relying on these things still to this day, when you have this new technology out there that can give you so much more results for so much less of an effort. So all of these things, why is this bad? Well, because it's low leverage. So if you are an open house, you speak with one person, of course that's good. When you are at the open house, you should be smart as well, but too many people are relying on this for getting leads, etc., and getting your business and new listings and stuff like that. So the simple way to explain why this is bad is because it's low leverage. Because if you really think about it, if you're a smart person, a smart human being on this planet Earth, if you have a goal in your life and you have different kind of ways of getting there, if you knew to 100% guarantee that there were 5 different paths you could be taking, but there's one of them that will get you there faster with the lowest amount of effort as possible, wouldn't you pick that one if every single option gets you to the result and there's no catches or things like that? Of course you would. So this is why I'm making this type of video, because I do believe that using the power of social media and seeing media as a way of getting what you want in life for the least amount of effort, it's just win-win. So this is really the way to go about it. So media, it's like you're making one piece of video. As me, I've made I think one single video for the last 2 years here on YouTube, and the best part of why media is such a good leverage is because you can create something once, and then thousands of people can watch it later. The same thing goes with music. So you make one piece of you make one song, and then it could be streamed by thousands and millions of people around the world. That's also one form of media and leverage. And the best part of this is, like, if you are really committed to this, it's not like you make one video today and it's going to be 100% relevant 1 year down the road, because the faster your brand grows and the more trust you build, the more people is going to be curious about you and consume, a lot of the content you have put out there, even the old things you have. So that's why I really love, media, and especially social media, because it gives every single real estate agent an opportunity in the world to build your brand and, build trust over time, and really make sure that each piece of content you make, aka media, becomes really an asset that works for you over time. And this is one of the absolute most important reasons why media is so powerful, especially social media, because it gives you an incredible top of mind effect. You get known, you get recognized, you get familiar, trusted, and chosen with time. So just by you committing to posting things on social media every single day, every single week, and you're consistently doing so over a longer period of time, you're going to be so, much more top of mind to your potential clients versus your competitors. Because if you really think about it, in the area you're working, you have competitors out there, and how do you make sure that you're the agent people choose in your local market? Well, one of the best benefits of you building a personal brand, and to put it in a simple word, using the power of media, is that you become top of mind. Because if you post something every day, every week, like the people, your potential clients, if you put out the right type of content, you will pop up in their feed, once a day, once a week, once a month, and you're just staying top of mind every single time. So it's so powerful. And this is why you should double down on this right now, because from what I'm seeing, I think, it's not enough real estate agents around the world that is using, leveraging media in the right way, as, for example, Ryan Serhant has done. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Like, the goal is not to become an influencer. So you shouldn't dance on TikTok. You can relax, you can sit down. Like, this is not the goal. We're not aiming for a specific type of likes. We don't want to go viral. The main reason and the thing why Ryan Serhant has gotten the success he has is because he sees social media as a business tool. And moving forward, when you watch this video and move on with your life, you should do the same. So the goal is to get warm leads and optimize your social media presence in a way to get more clients. Like, if you would get $0 by applying all of this I'm talking about, I would not sit here and make this type of videos. And if that would be the case, Ryan Serhant wouldn't have doubled down on media as he has done. So that's a single reason for doing this. It will get you where you want in your career. It will give you more listings, it will bring you more money, it will give you more happiness, etc. So this is really, Ryan's secret, and the thing he really started with, and the thing he did when he wanted to leverage the power of social media, is that he started to just document his journey. So as I said before, he was one of the first, or like very, very early on the ball, of just making vlogs, documenting his journey, and just being smart in a way to be top of mind for the right people. So he was very good at showing the behind the scenes. And if you would just ask me, okay, Nicholas, what's the number one thing to why he has gotten the success he has? Well, of course, he understood the power of media and how he could leverage it. But the number one thing is that he is consistent. So as I said, his first vlog on YouTube was 8 years ago. He is still active on YouTube, Instagram, social media to this day. So that's why he has gotten the success he has. So if you want to build your personal brand and get, being just a smart people or a smart person on this planet Earth, being a real estate agent, using the power of media, if you want to do that, you have to be consistent. And you have to do the same thing as Ryan Serhant did, seeing this as a long-term game. Ideally, you should see this as, well, okay, I'm going to, leverage media to get the goals I want in my career. And I'm going to do it for the rest of my career as a real estate agent. That's the smartest way to go about this. So, the shift I want you to make is like, don't just ask, how do I get listings? Ask, how do I use this big and great thing highest up on the leverage pyramid called media to my advantage? That's really, the way you should start thinking about things moving forward. So the thing that really happens, to make it crystal clear, is that, okay, what comes from media? Well, you get attention. And attention from the right people leads to trust. And what do that in return lead to? Well, if you do it in the right way, it should give you more warm leads. And more warm leads leads to more listings. And in the end, the thing we all probably want more of, more money. So this is really what happens as a result of you being smart and leveraging media to your advantage. So to end of this video, I really wanted to start thinking more like Ryan Serhant. It's like seeing social media and media in general as a business tool, and don't think just like Ryan because he's famous. As I said, your goal as a resident isn't to become famous. It's not to become an influencer. It's to use media to your advantage and seeing media as leverage. And if you want to implement all of this in your life as a real estate agent, you must watch this video, because I break down how you become the favorite agent in your local market.